Hi, Stacy. How are you?
Hi, Harish. Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thanks.
So, I got diagnosed when I was 17 with ulcerative colitis.
Okay.
And then about 2 years after that, I also got diagnosed with something called vasculitis. For
Okay.
me, it's a subsidiary of ulcerative colitis. So, it really only gets exacerbated when my inflammatory markers get very high. And, um, so it's been on and off, kind of stable, stable, unstable since I was about 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got really exacerbated. For me, I get exacerbated from stress,
Mm-hmm.
and something very stressful happened to me. And about 6 months after that event, it became very kind of prevalent in my life because also in 2016, I had 6 blood clots. And so I had to go on blood thinners. There was a lot of complications, so to speak, when you're on a blood thinner and you have a disease that causes bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2020, I had to go back on prednisone, which I don't really love. And then so I had to I got off of that just last year. So being on prednisone for so long, it caused other complications, which led to two major abscesses, which then led to um, three rectal anal fistulas and one rectal vaginal fistula.
Wow.
Because the surgery that they had to do at the time, they put drains and stuff, and those areas don't really like to be disturbed. So
Right.
that
Right.
causes other things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was some draining, there was some pus, there was all this kind of stuff that really nobody should ever have to go through, in my opinion. And and so I was just really kind of frustrated because a lot of the information that's out there is like it can't be treated without a surgical intervention.
Right.
And, I had tried the Ceton surgery and all that kind of stuff, and it just wasn't working for me. My body just didn't like it at all. And I just kind of knew that there was a way. I'm a big believer that the body can heal itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the modality that I knew was out there. However, I couldn't quite wrap my head around how to tap into that. And so I saw some other testimonials on your site and I was like, this is the person.
I'm glad you took that leap of faith, Stacy. I'm just going to get a little clarification from you. So, to summarize what you said, you've been having complex fistulas, three anorectal,
Mm-hmm.
one anovaginal, which
Yeah.
means even some of the stools pass through the vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I'm just
various,
reconfirming.
yeah, various stools and various liquid that can
Liquids.
sometimes pass from that.
So not the best state. Yes, one. So that also puts a huge stress on any individual because it doesn't allow you to step out of the house. Also because the ulcerative colitis. With that
Right.
and the vasculitis, I understand you were going about 12, 13 times for motions a day, or was it
It was actually a little bit more than that. It was like 15 to 20.
so 15 to 20 motions a day for the
Mhm.
last 20, 25 years, but on and off?
Right. It did get down to about six or
And then it
so.
just got worse again.
Yeah, back in 2021, I experienced a stroke,
Mhm.
and it happened on the left side of my brain, essentially, which affects the right side of the body.
Right, right. In this last week, have you experienced any change?
I have, yeah, I've noticed definitely firmer bowel movements, which is a really positive thing for me.
Mhm.
So the first couple days, I did notice more drainage coming from the rectal anal fistulas, but I knew it was like the body changing because it had been in such this state.
Mhm.
Um, and now the pussiness that is coming out, it does appear to be subsiding. The inflammation in that area has definitely gone down. I'd
It's just a
probably
week.
say I'd probably say 45%.
In a week. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. What else? Okay.
And my hemorrhoid has actually gone down significantly too over the last week, which I'm very grateful for. I'd say 50%.
Wow. Okay.
It's definitely much more comfortable to sit. I'll say that. And because it was very uncomfortable to sit, given all the stuff going on. But it's definitely more comfortable to sit. So the sleep, I'm still waking up about 5 times during the night. However, when I wake up, it's not always to have a bowel movement. It's sometimes just to urinate. And I did notice that the sleep is much deeper when I'm sleeping, while
Wow.
I'm sleeping. So
Beautiful.
that's been a positive thing for me too.
Okay. The last thing I think, anything about how the stool formations is because, I mean, you were having terrible bowel movements. So have you experienced any change in that, at least in the first 2 days?
Well, in the first 2 days, I noticed that they felt to me like well, the first day was a little iffy because I think my body was like detoxifying a lot. And the second day it was like a complete difference. Like they were really formed. Um, they did look like bananas, quite honestly, because that's what I've been eating.
Yeah.
Um, but but I noticed a more like they definitely had more texture to them and more oomph, so to speak.
Well, I don't know if you have anything else to add right now, Stacy, but I'm more than happy to see how, hopefully, because it has been a chronic case and it's been there for more than 25 years or around 25 years, I'm hoping and praying in the next 2 months we should see a sea change in you
Yes,
with a
me
lot of
too.
things, you never having to think about them again, except as an old movie.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you for wanting to share this with the rest of the world, Stacy. And I know we really wish to thank you for this because most people aren't comfortable talking about this. It's sensitive, but
Right.
you came on board seeing somebody else's testimonial. And
Right.
so you want to help the others should the change happen with you. And I believe if
Right.
we see change in 1 week, we most certainly will in the next 2 months.
Absolutely.
Thank
I'm
you,
confident
Stacey.
about that. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Hi, Stacey. It's been 2 months, and just wish to know how the 2 months have been for you, uh, overall perspective.
I really do feel like I'm a very different person than when I started this journey. I've noticed significant improvements in my overall digestive system, like really night and day kind of improvements,
Beautiful.
which I'm very happy and very blessed to now experience. I don't think I told you this, Harish, but at the beginning of this process too, I was nauseous like all day long. And I used to have to wear something called C-bands to help with the nausea.
Hmm.
And just in the last week, I haven't worn them at all. And I haven't been
Beautiful.
nauseous. So that's
Beautiful.
significant improvement for me too. I've noticed definite healing in both the rectal vaginal fistula and the rectal anal fistula.
Hmm.
And multiple tracts have since closed.
Beautiful.
And I've noticed, and I'm very confident that as my body continues to integrate everything over the last 2 months, I'm sure that it's going to come to 100% closure too. But not only did some of the fistula tracts close too, but previously before meeting you, I had done the ceton surgery or
Hmm.
ceton procedure. And so then when I took those cetons out, my body was left with additional holes that it had to heal and they weren't healing. But since working with you, all of those have healed. And I've noticed that where those areas were, uh, there were almost, well, the rectal vaginal fistula hole healed quite nicely from the cetons. But the rectal anal areas where the cetons were, it just didn't look right when it had
Hmm.
healed the way that it had before.
Hmm.
And those areas, the skin is now looking more normal, I'll say that. So I'm taking that as a win too. So my body has been very busy over the last 2 months, right? Because we don't really have control over how the body heals or what it heals to, but we know it's healing.
And that's beautiful. You also had a very bad bout of cellulitis,
Yeah,
where you couldn't
right in the
walk
midst
and
of
you were
it.
using the cane to walk at this
Right.
young an age. So how is that now?
That is it's night and day too. I mean, there are some areas where it's still like minor pinkish, right?
Mhm.
However, that continues to get better every day too. And my feet, thank God, my feet are back down to normal size. I'm no longer walking with a cane, which is absolutely wonderful for me.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Um, the swelling is down, the redness is down. I mean, my feet, my ankles, and my lower legs, they were like plump apples, so to
I
speak. They
know,
were
I
super
know.
swollen, super duper red. And it was an unexpected twist, but we got through it. So thank goodness for that.
Excellent. Your ulcerative colitis there was a scene when you were doing 20 motions a day. You are
Right.
down to
Yeah.
what, and is it formed? How is it?
Yeah. So right now I'm averaging about 2 a day.
Beautiful,
And they're all formed. There's absolutely no blood, no mucus. And
beautiful.
last night I only woke up once during the night, and that was just to pee. But I did get 6 hours solid sleep before doing that. And then when I went back to get back to bed, I got another 4 hours, a solid uninterrupted sleep time. So, everything has significantly improved. And I
Beautiful.
know, and I also noticed, so the hemorrhoid that I did have at the beginning of the process too, that has been completely gone for like a month, which is also incredible for me.
Fantastic.
So, I have noticed significant healings in so many ways in my life.
Beautiful. One more or two more parts of the healing process, which I'd like to lay stress on. How about, if I remember right, you were someone who was anxious, who wanted to control. How have your relationships been with yourself and with the others, with family and everyone else? How is that?
You know, I hate to sound like a broken record here, Harish, but that has also significantly improved. And thank you for bringing up the anxiety, because quite honestly, I kind of forgot that I even had it. Because 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 it's been so diminished, and sometimes in life we kind of, when it's so part of our everyday process, and then suddenly it's not there anymore, it always doesn't come to our direct awareness, that, oh hey, you used to have this, and guess what, now you don't, type of thing. um but so the anxiety is much better. My dynamics with relationships are so much better. And I really attribute that um back to the emotional support, the mental support that I received by working with you, and kind of like breaking down the thought process, breaking down the patterns, the programs, and all of that stuff, because it's an all-encompassing journey, as you know. um but it's so, one has to happen in order for the other to happen too.
Absolutely. And I believe your healing has happened because the mental shifts, the emotional shifts have happened. And for me, it's beautiful when you say, oh, I forgot that I used to be an anxious person. For me, that is beautiful. What is beautiful is when you said, my digestion has never been better. And
Right.
for
Yeah.
me, that is a beautiful statement. It just makes it worth it all. And all I can say is thank you so much, Stacy, for believing and trusting in us. I believe your 25-year journey of suffering for a long time hopefully has come to an end. And in your words, should hope this present you should stay like this for the next 60.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, it has certainly been an interesting journey, but a well worth it journey.